Let's see what we got going here, man. TV, get him in here.
And the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown letter.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Hey, Robot. I see they got that I'm gonna have to pay that so I wonder why that StreamYards made my bills gotta be paid on that. Hey, yeah, shout out everybody that's in the building, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I don't like that like. Let's see. Yeah, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Right, we just put a tape out on Simeon Toko. The whole breakdown, the whole get down. It's a lot of more of the miracles that he did that we didn't put into the tape. We put the main ones that people like was the the craziest ones that we heard. So you may want to go check that tape out. We're gonna have the links in the descriptions. Also, if you're new to the channel, keep in mind Young Elder got 8 books out for $40 donation to the Cash App or PayPal. The Young Elder, right? That's my Cash App and PayPal on the screen. Don't send it to the one with the S on the end. It's the Young Elder, right? What you do is just send a $40 donation and leave your emails in the links in the descriptions, and I'll send you over all 8 books that I wrote in PUF form. I got a whole bunch of other books that I wrote too. I just ain't put them out yet. But if you want to get those 8 books that we already got, if you're new to the channel, all you would do is send a $40 donation to the PayPal or Cash App. Leave your emails in the links, and I'll send you all 8 books in PDF form. Now, the health is wealth. Shout out Chantella, right? Chantella Scott. Hey, check this out. So the storyline of this dude, Simeon Toko, right? And like I say, we went through the storyline, and it's quite interesting on why the Illuminati wanted to get rid of this guy, why they just kept trying to kill this guy. Every time he come back, they wanted to get rid of this guy. Why was they in fear of Simeon Toko? And where did he come from? Then becomes the next question, because his birth is this. I hear these stories about these prophets being born, and it's similar stories about all of them coming. Like they said that when Simeon Toko was born, they saw a shooting star, like a green shooting star, come across the sky. Now I heard that same storyline with the birth of Noble Jew Ali. That when the people in Noble Jew Ali's village, in the Cherokee village, said that it was the same type of it was an earthquake too. When Noble Jew Ali was born, an earthquake happened. So they said when this guy Toko was born, that it was a certain type of event where they saw shooting stars come, and then boom, he was born. Same thing we heard about Dr. Malachi York in 1945. This same thing happened. A green shooting star comet, star. Well, they said it was a comet, but what comets burn green, like Doc said, right? But and then his birth, right? Same thing with Yahshua. If you study the scriptures, it was a star. They followed the star to get to his birth. So it's some synonymous with these beings, these supernatural beings coming, and the celestial alignment when they come, right? Now, one incident of them trying to take out Simeon Toko, and the storylines play. If you want to get the whole storyline, you would go to watch the tape I just put out called Simeon Toko Black Jesus. But one of the storylines is the Portuguese, and it come to find out that the Portuguese that were trying to take him out, they were dark-skinned Negroes. So I was like, damn, it was some dark-skinned Portuguese. That was another thing. But the dark-skinned Portuguese got paid to do a hit on Toko, and they try to put him into one of those bush haulers, those tractors. They got the little blade on the back. They told him to go clean it out, and then when he went to go clean it out, they turned it on and chopped him up. And then they said that Simeon Toko materialized right back before their eyes and scared the hell out of them, and they got the hell on. They got the hell out of there, these two Portuguese guys, right? Another incident, the government, and some reason the Pope wanted them gone. The Pope was scared of Simeon Toko. The Pope was real scared of Simeon Toko. I guess he could threaten his popeship or whatever. So they put a play on Simeon Toko, son a couple Catholic priests to get him on a plane, act like they were going to bring him to the Vatican for a visit. And then when they got to the ocean, the plan was to throw Simeon Toko into the ocean and drown him, right? But as soon as they got up to capture him, Simeon Toko stood up and said something in a language, and the plane stops in midair. The crew was spooked out. They were scared as hell. One of the Catholic priests started praying to Toko, saying, "Please spare us, God. This is it, Almighty," right? And so Toko said something else, and then the plane went back to normal, and they all sat down in awe for the whole rest of the flight until they let Toko off. And I tell that storyline in the tape. The movie actually, the movie I just put out, it actually goes into more detail on it, right? Another incident is some guys were paid to chop them up and put them in, and they put them in a soup, and they ate them, and then they popped back up 3 days later. Another incident is that I found quite interesting was that the one where they pulled his heart out, and his heart was, his heart was beating in their hand while he was up talking to them and telling them asking them why they doing it. Yeah, so the word is that Simeon Toko is supposedly from the Inanna fleet. Now, if you look at the symbol that Tokyo had for his church symbol, it's the Star of Inanna. It's the Inanna ship, the Inanna's mothership. He has the Inanna's mothership for his symbol. I thought that was quite interesting that he had Inanna's ship for his. Now this is all tied into the restored of the matriarch. Simeon Toko was a part of that fleet that's coming back to restore the natural ordinance order of the planet, right? And that order was mother son, right? It was mother then son, and somewhere along the line that got switched up, right, to father and son, and they completely really got rid of the mother. So I'm thinking that Simeon Toko was part of that first wave or that first being to test the waters of these people or these beings that's coming back. And supposedly it's they finding these children being born now, and they trying to monitor these kids, but these kids are coming in under the radar, and some of them are said to have the same powers as Simeon Toko, being able to materialize all this other stuff, right? But my thing is, in the last incident that was really quite interesting was that the government finally said, "Okay, we can't kill you. We want you to come and to the UN and give a speech." So they set him up to get him on a plane, and then when they got him on a plane, they shot him up with Uzis, and then chopped his body up, put it in the grinder, grind him up like hamburger meat, packaged them up into containers, took his body parts to all the four corners of the earth, and then used incinerators to incinerate the containers. And then 3 days later, Simeon Toko pop up again right in their office and regenerate right in their office. And they was trying to figure out, how did this guy work? Where did he come from? And like I say, based on my studying of it, I think he's part of the Inanna fleet. The Anunnaki is the part of the Inanna fleet, and he's part of the Najaru extraterrestrials. And maybe he was sent here as a light-bodied being to incarnate into that avatar, like I say, to test the waters. To see is these beings still participating in what they were doing and trying to get rid of the child. And yes, they were. And it was over 15 to 20 attempts on Simeon Toko's life, until where the last attempt where they chopped him up and took him all over the place. And we break all this down. Yeah, it sounds like a crazy story, right? Some far-fetched shit, but we broke all of it down in the Simeon Toko movie, right? We just put out on the video side. You want to go check that out if you're new to the channel. But the last time that they tried to kill him, he said that, you know what? I see it. Y'all just ain't gonna give up. Y'all gonna just keep trying new ways of killing me, and it just ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna do y'all a favor. I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna tell you this: when I leave, the next is gonna be a whole bunch of people that come back like me, and you won't be able to stop them. And that was the warning, right? So, and Simeon Toko is not the first. We hear about this all through the scriptures. We hear about this, like I say, with Noble Drew Ali and what he was doing. We hear about Martin Luther King, all these type of guys that come and it be a significant event that take place do their birth. It's a part of the program. Just like in the Matrix, Neo was a phenomenon. So it's always when the balance is off, when the Schumann, it's supposed to be the Schumann residence, right? The Schumann resonance. But when the balance is off on the planet, the energy of the universal energy, Kundalini energy, of this the all sends energy towards the planet to rebalance the energy. And Simeon Toko was part of that rebalancement. That's why he said, what about Haile Selassie? What about Haile Selassie? Haile Selassie would say that he was from the bloodline of Solomon. Now, keep in mind, we had reason to believe that Solomon was Ramesses and that there wasn't no Solomon, that they took and made up Solomon from 3 different people. But that's just one part. Now, let's say if he was from the Solomon, this is the way Doc explains it. Let's say if he was from Solomon's bloodline, right? Then, Solomon was a mixed seed. Solomon's mother was a Hittite, right? Solomon's mother was a Canaanite. And the Israelites were told not to mix their seed with the Canaanites. And if they did, that their seed would be cursed. And this happened with Esau was told before the Israelites, and Esau did it, and his seed got cursed. But listen to what I'm telling you. So Selassie would be, say, if he was from Solomon, he would be a mixed seed. He wouldn't be from the son of Adonijah, who was the son that went David, other son, who went down and set up the city of Judea. And Solomon stayed in Jerusalem, his brother. And Solomon supposedly was the richest man to ever live, had 700 wives. If you go back and do a cross reference with Ramesses II, you'll see that's where they stole the storyline from. And actually, some of the another parts of the storyline, like the part where Solomon chopped up the babies, right? That part, what Solomon was gonna chop up the baby when the two women came and they had the baby, and the woman said, "She stole my baby," right? And Solomon said, "Give me a knife. I'm gonna chop him in half," right? And then that one baby said, "Nah, give him to her," right? And Solomon said, "Well, it must be her baby," and he gave it to the lady, right? That storyline is a storyline from Imhotep III. Imhotep III did that way before Solomon was even born. So they got a lot of these storylines out of ancient Kemet and took and created their own people on it. The so-called Canaanites created their own people so they could tie themselves into our vine. And honestly, they was already in the vine. I don't know what they doing that for, because they come out of Ham. Ham come from Noah. Noah is the son of Enki. Enki is the grandson. I mean, the son of Anu. So they still were children of the Most High God. But I think and Enlil seed as well. But it's just that's a family thing. But Salah, even though like I say, even if Selassie said that Haile Selassie said that he was from Solomon, he still would be a mixed seed from mixed with Hittite. Now let's say, okay, all right. He say he from but the truth is he wasn't a direct descendant of Mentelek II. He wasn't a direct descendant of Mentelek II. Mentelek II was a direct descendant of Mentelek, going back to supposedly Solomon's son and Queen Sheba. He wasn't from that bloodline. He was akin to, or not akin to, he was like his dad was a servant or high general to the guy, and he worked his way in like that. That's how Haile Selassie got up. I'm gonna tell you, Haile Selassie is Enlil seed, and Haile Selassie's type is not the original Ethiopians. The original Ethiopians are the Somalians and the Dogon people who got pushed out of that land. Haile Selassie's the Ethiopian, like Haile Selassie, they mix with pale Arabs. I'm telling you, man. And he's still a Cushite. Haile Selassie's still a Cushite, but they are the Cushites mixed with the pale Arabs. The ones they let come over here, and the ones they show you all the time. And they don't show you the Somalians, like the being who they got into it with over there in Somali. And they created the Black Hawk Down movie out there. But if you go ask any Ethiopian, and we don't got nothing against Haile Selassie, but we know you Rastafarians really love him, right? But I'm gonna tell you this: if you go ask a person from Ethiopia, they'll tell you Haile Selassie was a tyrant. Haile Selassie was a sellout to the British. Haile Selassie was a part of the Illuminati. I got pictures of Haile Selassie in all black doing rituals with the Pope. Why is Haile Selassie doing rituals with the Pope? Go watch a video I put out called "The Mysteries of the Viral Reveal Part 2" in the Christianity playlist. So who really was Haile Selassie? Was he an infiltrator and a usurper? And what did he do for Jamaica, really? He didn't do nothing for Jamaica. All he did is visit them. Came there and visit. What did he do for Jamaica? They consider Haile Selassie in Ethiopia as a tyrant to their country, a sellout. And that's the truth. Now, from your perspective, if you're a Rastafari, right, and you forever loving Jah and all that, you might get emotional at hearing it. But that's what the main population, if you go ask 70% of the Ethiopian population to say that Haile Selassie was a tyrant. That let's say he was a black type Hitler, a sellout to the Queen. He was in, and supposedly he had some connections with the King George V, who is Queen Elizabeth's dad. You ever wonder why Ethiopia was never invaded by the Christians? Why? Because they know that Ethiopia is the origin of Christianity. That's why. It's more to it than that too. We can get into, but we're here to talk to you about Simeon Toko, the Black Jesus, who defied, who the Illuminati tried to take out several different times, but he managed to come back to life. And then, like I say, we don't know. They don't know what he at now. They said he said that, you know what, I'm just gonna leave since y'all don't want me to be here, and he left. But where did he go? Where did Simeon Toko go? Did he go to the center of the earth? Did he go into a higher dimension on higher earth realm, a fifth dimensional earth realm? Right? Why was the government so trying to look? It took them like hours to approve that tape. They had to dissect that tape I just put out to make sure everything that I said wasn't but I worded it a certain way where they couldn't, right? But they don't like you talking about Simeon Toko because he's one of them fears in the back of their mind that, hey, what if all these guys come back? Well, I mean, what if a group of guys like Simeon Toko come back? What are we gonna do? So they said that before these groups come back, we're gonna get the hell out of here. They started packing their shit and created shuttles and started propelling themselves to Mars and the moon. Try to get the hell out of here. Yeah, the Dinka people, right? The Dinka people, the Sudanese, right? The Sudanese. The Dinkas also migrated with the Dogon people to West Africa. And they mixed in with the Dogon people, right? And then another group who Elijah Muhammad referred to as the tribe of Shabazz, who was led by a being named Shabazar, who had 59,999 followers who disagreed with Yaku, and they broke off and started settling around the coastlines of Africa, jumping off and mixing in with people. Well, the last spot that they jumped off at was West Africa, and they mixed in with a group of beings that was already there who had already mixed, who were the Dogons and Dinka. And when the Hindus, these tribe of Shabazz, mixed in with them, they became known as a new tribe called the Mandinga. The Mandingos. No, as in Dinka, Dogong, Mandingos, right? The Mandinga. And these people came over here and mixed in with the people over here, the Washita. So some of you got Mandinga in you. You got Dogong in you. You got Dinka in you. And you got, so if you got Mandinga, right? Because look, the Yamasi is one of the tribes that the Mandingas came, the Mandingas formed the Yamasi by mixing in with the Washita, right? So a lot of you got Dogong in you from that Mandingo mix. You got the Hindu in you from that Mandingo mix, and you got the Dinka people in you from that Mandingo mix. We already did a breakdown on genetics in the African playlist and in the Native American Moors playlist. We did a breakdown on how all the tribes mixed in Africa, and then some of them migrated over here because the earth, this America is the melting pot. So we may have about 7 or 8 different tribes mixed into one. We like 8 or 9 different tribes mixed in or more. Yeah, Dr. Malachi York father was from the Dinka, right? And then his mother was Washita, and she connect back to the Afar people from the Williams, right? The Afar is the people that's in Ethiopia and like more northwest Ethiopia, where Nipsey Hussle and them people were from, right? The Afar people, and some of them live in Egypt too, right? Aswan and Palestine. That's what they the Afar people are the original ancient Israelites, right? And that family migrated and become known was the Williams was the original royal family of Great Britain. Great Britain means the Great Covenant, right? The original family of the royal family before they got killed and replaced by the family you see now that's in there, who are not the original royal family. The original royal family were the Williams. King George Williams, right? The Williams, and that connects with Doc. Doc's mother name was Mary C. Williams. My mother name is Stephanie Diane Williams, right? So yeah, so the Williams go back real far. It says yeah, right. So Haile Selassie and them are Somalians, Kushites mixed with the original Kushites look darker. If you look at Haile Selassie and them, Nipsey Hussle and them, they are lighter skinned Ethiopians. The light skinned Ethiopians are mixed with pale Arabs, right? And a lot of them come over here, and a lot of them took over Ethiopia. And like I say, Haile Selassie worked his way into the royal family. He wasn't original part of the royal family and became an emperor. So he wasn't he wasn't really the direct descendant of Solomon, technically, neither. We don't hate Haile Selassie. We ain't here to beat him down and take him apart. We ain't into that. We just into speaking truth. Go ask the populace in Ethiopia, was Haile Selassie a good ruler? And 70% of the population, if not more, is gonna say that Haile Selassie was a tyrant. He was a tyrant. And some people say, well, you got because the storyline about the truth of Haile Selassie, some of it we got from the Holy Tablets, and that's what Doc put out, right? And they said that Doc's family had a beef with Haile Selassie now, but that's still besides the point. It's still besides the point that Doc would write that about Haile Selassie if his family had a beef with him. That's besides the point. Go ask Ethiopia, the people in Ethiopia, was Haile Selassie a good guy or a bad guy? And like I say, 70% of them gonna say that Haile Selassie was a tyrant, a known tyrant. And then why he always shooting up the pyramid? Was he down with the Illuminati? Was he down with the guys trying to keep us down as Nubians on the planet? Why would a man be shooting the table? And he wasn't shooting hot. He was shooting the physical master. He's shooting the physical master, and he was shooting it down. That's the low table. You got the high table, low table. So he was part of the low table. He wasn't even part of the high table. And I differ that though, because I seen. I'm gonna tell you, man. I got pictures of Haile Selassie going to the Jesuit temples, and they let Haile Selassie sit in the Grand Master chair at the Jesuit temple. Haile Selassie was a Jesuit. And not only was he a Jesuit, he had to be a high-ranking member to sit in the damn the Grand Master's chair. Yeah, he's always going over and dealing with Queen Elizabeth and King George and all them because he was their puppet. Haile Selassie was they had the Queen Elizabeth and the King George and them had their fingers up in his behind, puppeting them, telling them what to say. That's what Haile Selassie was. He was a puppet for the British crown. I'm telling you, man. A tyrant. And Queen Elizabeth they usurpers. They use Queen how Queen Elizabeth's family got into the royal family. The Knights of Templar, the bad side, under the orders of the Rothschilds, assassinated King George's whole family. The only one that was left was Prince Edward's, who was on his, and they said that Queen Victoria is his daughter, Prince Edward, right? Right. And then when Prince Edward was coming back to tell the people that Queen Victoria ain't my daughter, how could I have a daughter? And I've been at sea for the last 8-9 months, and I haven't even touched my wife. How has she become pregnant? And when he would come back to go tell it, some kind of way he mysteriously get killed. And then all of a sudden, Queen Victoria is the reigning. And then she was mulatto. Prince Edward looked just like George Jefferson from the George Jefferson show. He had a bald spot in the middle. He had that Danaco receding hairline, right? He was light skinned. He looked just like George Jefferson, right? Now, how they try to say that Queen Victoria was her mother was a white German lady, and that her dad was King George, but they're trying to say that she was part black or whatever. But nah, that ain't true. Queen Victoria's dad was the king of the Derus. It was a group of beings called the Derus who live underground in Germany, under the mountain, right? And they will come up to the surface and kidnap human women and take them back down there and impregnate them and let them come back up, and they create these hybrid children. And that's why Queen Victoria was obese. She was over 400 and 500 pounds. I'm telling you, man, at one point. And that's that trait come down from her father's line, which is the obesity gene that come from these Deru people. We don't want to get too spaced out. Hey, man, if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Hey, we'll take some questions, man. You got any questions on Toko? We'll take some of your questions and concerns. Yeah, see, look, Haile Selassie is Enlil's seed. Haile Selassie is Enlil's seed, so that they knew that these certain group of reptilian humanoids that pay homage to Enlil, right? Enlil's seed been trying to usurp, and from based on my research, I'm thinking that Ethiopia is some kind of strong hold point, because I remember that these vampires are these particular tribe that was the ones that eventually go around the world to take over the Black Hand, right? The Black Hand family, they start their storyline and their origins out of Ethiopia. And then they got ran out of Ethiopia to Transylvania. Then they got ran out of there to Switzerland. Then there to France. Then there to other places. Then later on, they came to America. Hey, if you're new to the channel and you want to get those 8 books by the Young Elder, all you would do is send a $40 donation to the Cash App, leave your emails and the links, and I'll send you my 8 books that I got. Some of them gonna take you about a month to read because they got like over 500 pages in that joint. It's got all my books got pictures and everything in them. My books got pictures and everything in them. So you want to get those 8 books by the Young Elder, all you would do is send a $40 Cash App to the PayPal email, and we'll leave your emails and the links. And I'll send you the books over to your PayPal. The barytary gland. You talking about the barytary gland, Gary? What about the barytary gland? The barytary gland, the Anunnakis removed it so you couldn't be telepathic and communicate with your ancestors who you think that's dead, but they're not dead. Go get you a Tesla vehicle, one of them Tesla cars, and then drive to the graveyard. A Tesla has a bio camera on it that can record essence of beings that are thought to be passed away. So when you drive to the graveyard, you can see people walking around in your Tesla camera. People already, just go pull it up. Go pull up people seeing people in their camera on a Tesla in the graveyard. So nobody dies; they just pass to the next realm, which is still right here. You can see it if you had the eyes to see. There are a lot of things that exist that you can't see. Now, if you had a microscope or a certain type of lens, you could be able to see these beings. And like I say, Tesla with his technology has put a certain type of lens on the camera on the Tesla car, where you can see people that start to be passed away at the graveyard. So even on the certain phone, the new phones that's about to come out, that Tesla about to come out with, he gonna have that technology, that bio technology. Nah. Enlil is Enlil. Osiris is Enki's son. Osiris is Enki's son. His another one of his names is Damuzi. Right? Enlil is Enki's brother. Set is Osiris' brother, but Set is Shamgazu's grandson. Because Enki was it was different tribes. See, Osiris, his mother's family, they were Watusis, and the people that came down from Murdoch side. So it's like really Osiris. It's kind of crazy, but Osiris was Murdoch's like great grandson from his mother's side, and then he was his brother. Osiris was Murdoch's little brother from from them having the same dad. Enki could translate into Anubis in one fashion in ancient Kemet, but they said that if you go, Enki becomes Ptah, right? Enki becomes Ptah. Enki could carry the title of Anubis because he was over the underworld when he had the title of Israel, right? Which means the angel was dealing with the angel of death, right? But the being who had that position was Nergal. Nergal is Enki's son. He became the Anubis, which is a title over the underworld once he married Ariskagel, which is Inanna's sister, Nanar's Sin's daughter, with a half reptilian lady. So Enki becomes Ptah, and who was it? Who else would you ask about? You asked about like you asked about. Yeah, so different people had the title Anubis. Enki might have had that title at one point, and then also his son Nergal had the title of Anubis. He's who is over Anubis. Now Enlil is not Horus. Haru is Inanna's son. Inanna had a son named Haru, who she tried. That's where you get the whole concept of mother and son, and in the masonry where they say the widow's son, the son of the widow. They talking about Haru. Inanna was the widow because they took out Osiris, and that left Inanna as a widow, and then the widow, her son was Haru. And Haru would be Enlil's grandson, okay? Because listen to this: Enlil had a son named Nanar Sin. Nanar Sin had a daughter named Inanna. Inanna had a son named Tammuz, who is Tammuz is the same equivalent to Haru, right? So Tammuz is Enlil's great grandson, which will make Haru Enlil's great grandson, because Inanna is Enlil's granddaughter. Yeah, so Ma'at is, that's right, Amun is Murdoch. So Ma'at got two daughters. Murdoch had two daughters. Ra had two daughters named Ma'at and Mud. They were twins. Ma'at and Mud is daughters of Murdoch that he supposedly had with Ninti, who is Hathor in ancient Kemet. Hathor is Mother Ninti. Mother Ninti is Anu's daughter, Enlil and Enki, them's little sister, who was a master alchemist and scientist and laboratory type person. And she breastfed and surrogate the first classified human being after the Adam Project, which is why you see her Hathor sitting down breastfeeding the first classified human being, and she has the the horns with the sun disk in it. That's dealing with the sun. Yeah, so yeah, Haru is Tammuz. All right, so dealing with the sun. Another one of his name is Sananda. That's Sananda phone. That's his galactical name. But if you see Hathor with the horns with the disc, that means that and she breastfeeding the human. That's telling you that's a symbol that represents the human, the Adam project being done in the Taurus age of Taurus, right on Mars. And a lot of times they mix Inanna with Hathor, but how you can tell the difference is the headpiece. Inanna has a head, a throne or a chair, or stool. Really, it's a chair or throne. The big mama seat on her as her headdress, and Hathor, which is Mother Ninti, has the horns with the bull, with the sun disk, right? So they like to mix those up because I saw a picture of the Holy Trinity, and they have Haru standing there with Osiris in the middle, and they have Inanna on the other side, but they got the wrong headpiece on her. That's Hathor's Mother Ninti's headpiece. She was also taken from the rib. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I could get to we could get into that, but like what do you mean by that? Who was taken from the rib? Eve? Because Adam and Eve wasn't taken from no rib. I mean, well, Eve wasn't taken from Adam's rib. Eve was born from with mother. Eve had a whole mother and father. Yeah, Nikibal was from two different tribes. She was a mix of two different tribes. Her dad was of the Twa people. The Twa people are some of the oldest people in Africa, right? That's why women average a certain height. Most women only get no more than 5'3" or shorter, right? Because most women genetics, and Inanna was short. Inanna wasn't tall like the 7-foot Anunnakis. Inanna was short, fine, and thick. I'm telling you, short, fine, and thick. Right now, 6 foot was really short to Anunnakis, but 6 foot might not be short for an average woman. But Inanna was about 6 foot tall. That's short compared to 8 foot tall. Anu, right? But what was I saying? Yeah, Nikibal had a mother and father. Her father was from the Twa, and her mother was from another group of beings called the Sands people. These are the two oldest tribes in the world, the Sands man and the Twa man. And when they mixed together, they created Eve. And Eve starts a new tribe called the Bantu people. Eve was a Bantu. The Bantu are the Twa and the Sands man mixed in together. Adam's seed comes from another seed who came down from Orion. They landed here. They were called the Watusis. They got a different type of hair texture than the Twa and the Sands man. This is the third oldest people on the planet. The Twa, the Watusis. They're tall, dark skin with really thick hair. Adam, another name, they was called the Phoenicians at one point in ancient Kemet, right? And Adam was from that tribe. And when the Anunnakis came back after the crash happened, or the meteorite storm happened, the Anunnakis came back and wanted to replenish the earth. So they took Adam from the Watusis who had survived the storm. Kanoon them were now Kanoon them didn't draft Kanoon them then draft at Adam and Eve was born just like you were born, with a mother and father, with a navel. Adam and Eve had a navel. Yeah, Adam was 7 foot tall. Yeah, Adam and Eve had a navel. Like I said, then so Eve and Adam got took by Enlil and then put into a garden or enclosed dome type city. And they were supposed to be Enlil was wanting to train them to take over Earth and pretty much control the rest of the Lulu Amalus, which means primitive workers. and he was supposed to train them on a little bit of what they knew, what he knew as their children, and they were supposed to take over the gold operation for the Anunnakis, but that got put to a halt when Inky began teaching his daughter, who was Nakeba, really, because Inky was had an avatar as Ptah, and Ptah becomes Eve's dad. I know this might sound like, it's just a lot because they so many different names, so many different cultures. It becomes, you can get lost in the sauce. But Ptah was Nakiba's father, and so he used to teach her, and also Inky was part Dragonian, so his people were the Dragonians, and these nomos beings were the ones that taught the humans what the Anunnakis didn't want them to know. It says, why do you think Toko didn't know they were going to chop him up? Yeah, Toko knew a lot, but a lot of the stuff he went to the events just to prove to them that they couldn't stop him. And then once after they just kept doing it, eventually Toko just said that I'm just gonna leave. Y'all want me to leave, Yeah, he stopped the plane in midair. I don't know how he did it. To be honest with you, I don't know how he did it. But can it be done? Yes, it can be done. Especially if once you grasp the concept that this is a hologramic reality, that this is a movie that can be put on rewind, and that certain extraterrestrials who have certain technology can jump time and go back, rewind this movie to 50 years back, or fast forward the movie and jump into the future. So it stands the reason that this particular reality is on some type of time belt. And I already did a tape on it called is it real or real? REEL or REAL. Is it real or real? Right? And so if this is real, that means it can be put on pause. The time can be paused, that it can be fast forwarded and slowed down. So if you want to explain how Simeon Toko stopped the plane, maybe he pulled it into another dimension where time stopped. Maybe he knew some type of magical words that we knew at some point before they gave us English. He had some magical word where he could say and cause the plane to stop. Because I remember a long time ago, before I even met Malachi, I never met Malachi in person, but before I came into Malachi teachings, right? I remember a long time ago, I used to see Doc in my dreams. And I remember one time he was teaching the class and we was in all white, and then we was walking, and he said, he pointed up in the air at this plane, and the plane was about to ready to come down and crash. And he said some word in another language, and the plane straightened back up and started flying straight. And I said, when I woke up the next day, I tried to remember that word that he said, but I couldn't remember it. And then another time in a vision, when I got to see him again, I asked him, why couldn't I remember that word? He said, it's in your mind. And he said, but you remember it when it's time. That's what he said. You remember that word when it's time, the word that I used to stop that plane from coming down. So it is possible that we have certain powerful words that can be not no abracadabra and all that. See, they allude to the fact in these Harry Potter movies that there are words that we had that we can wave our that we can say, and it makes stuff happen. And what if these words they got witches got spell books with all these different spells in these books? What if we knew some of this stuff and they made us forget so that we wouldn't be able to use it on them as a weapon? So you got to look at that too. It says, what else you got? We got any more questions? Shout out Young Gilly. Hey, y'all, If you just not, yeah, we got Zilla. We got Zia. My email, send it to my email, Cornswillion. That's my email right there. You might be able to find through my email. Cornswillion Hill. Hey, what I was gonna say, yeah, so Toko is just one of them things. Supposedly it was other guys like this, but the government tried to it seemed like the government put Tokyo into the Majestic 12 files, like as this phenomenon being or this extraterrestrial being that they had to try to deal with. So he's right along with Valiant Thor, another being named Valiant Thor, who was a Venerian, supposedly, who go watch a thing called Strange Secrets at the Pentagon, where this extraterrestrial Valiant Thor came here from Venus and worked with the government. He had superpowers, and he spoke like 20 some languages, right? More he spoke. They say he spoke every language on the planet, and he could write every language on the planet. Right, and they said that, but they said that he didn't like shaking hands because whatever the Venerians grew, bacteria that grew on their skin, it was poisonous to humans. So Simeon Toko is not the only extraterrestrial humanoid encounter that the government supposedly has been in contact with. I mean, what is Doc? Doc spoke 20 something different language. Well, human, speak that, they can do that, Well, human, can speak that many languages, man. That ain't some extra. That's all we saying. Hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We got he says I had a dream. We're taking your questions and concerns here late at night. Keep in mind, we just put the Simeon Toko movie out on the video side. You want to go check that out after the show, man. Oh yeah, we're gonna make it. But Simeon Toko also said there's gonna be a group of children that were gonna come back. That's gonna be just like him. So all those children here now, walking around. I believe starting this year, 2025, we're about to see some stuff that gonna be almost unbelievable. Unless, even if you see it in person, it's gonna be hard to grasp in this reality on some of the phenomenon things that's about to happen with the children. With the children, man, I'm telling you. The tribe, who is the tribe of Shabazz? We are the tribe of Shabazz. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. What they say right there? Can you see that? Prince Shabazz. Look. We are the tribe of Shabazz. All you niggas that get the waves, they put the wave cap on and get the 360. You the tribe of Shabazz. We gotta start. The tribe of Shabazz don't got the real nappy non-ether hair because we got mixed with the tribe of Shabazz were Hindus. They were Moors. The tribe of Shabazz is the Moors. M-U-U-R Moors, ones who landed in Ora of Chaldea. Fire worshippers, the Nagas, the real Nagas. Hear it? We real Nagas. The real Nagas. That's why we put that cobra on our headdress, connected with the serpent gods and the Nagas, the real Nagas. So the tribe of Shabazz is the ones you see with the cobra on their headdress. The real ancient Egyptians are the tribe of Shabazz. The Afar people are the tribe of Shabazz. The Williams are the tribe of Shabazz. The Tates are the tribe of Shabazz. The Millers, right? The Jacksons are the tribe of Shabazz. You Jacksons, you Millers, you Tates. Yeah. So the tribe of Shabazz came over here and mixed in with the people over here, with the Armax. The Armax was over here. The tribe of Shabazz came and mixed in with them and created one of the largest tribes in America called the Washita. The Washita are the tribe of Shabazz. And anybody that come out of the tribe, Washita tribe, like the Yamasee, the Creek, the all these different other tribes that are daughter tribes to the Apache, all them that daughter tribes to the Washita, they are Moors, whether they want to accept it or not. The Creeks are Moors. The Yamasee are Moors. The Apache are Moors. The Chata are Moors, just by fact that they are a daughter tribes of the Washita. And they are and all of them are the tribe of Shabazz, just like Elijah Muhammad told you niggas. It says the Cobra also represents yeah. Okay, so yeah, you talking about the Kundalini, you talking about Tahuti's the 33 vertebrates, the Goul. The Goul is what we the Najarus, we are the that's the Goul, right? The serpent spirit that lives within us. The serpent, the reptilian genetics. Because if you see that Tahuti's staff with the which they use for the medical symbol, right? The Kundalini symbol with the bird at the top, that's Tahuti symbol. It also looks just like the DNA cores, because Tahuti was the one that when Inky and Mother Ninti was up there, they couldn't get the Adamon project completely right. They was making mistakes for a while until Tahuti came and then added the DNA cortex to it, and that's what made them finish the project, the humanoid project, or the upgrading of these Homo erectus into Homo sapiens. Yeah, Gary, you can read the Holy Tablets by Master Teacher Dr. Malachi Z. York in the links in the descriptions for free. For all you people that's new to the channel, if you want to read Master Teacher's Holy Tablets, it's real thick, and it's pretty much a lot all the stuff, questions that you probably got if you're a newcomer, it's probably answered in that book. And we probably got tapes on just about all of it to go along with it out of the 2,000 tapes that we got out. But you can go read that book and the links in the description for free, the Holy Tablets. See, I bought it from Arkmos. Oh yeah, shout out Arkmos. That's Malachi's son. Look to my little Arkmos, right? Yeah, shout out Arkmos. It says was Tahuti. King Tut, or Tuti was really his name, Tut T, right? Tut T. They said Tut, right? They took off the T, because you got Do, Re, Mi, Fa. Some of y'all are Rays and some of y'all are T's, right? Tahuti, right? So Tut is an incarnation of Haru. Haru is like Tammuz had different incarnations. So one of Tammuz's incarnations is King Tut. And that's Tahuti. Tammuz is Tahuti nephew, because Tahuti, Inky had Inky main four sons is the eldest is Murdoch, and then Nergal. The third oldest son is Ningazita, who you call it Tahuti, right? And then the youngest son was Damuzi, who you call it Osiris, Lord of the Perfect Black, right? So what else to say? So Tahuti is the Inky son, and so Damuzi is Haru's brother. Tammuz. I mean, Damuzi is Tammuz's dad. So they would make Tahuti Tammuz's uncle, which is why Tammuz called Tahuti Unc. Right? You hear Unc. Tahuti we call Tahuti Unc, right? So King Tut would be Tahuti's nephew. If you wanted to put it like that. Okay. So what happened to Simeon? Yeah, that's a good question, man. What happened to Simeon Toko? Like I said, when they tried to kill him the last time, and he regenerated in their office, he told them that, hey man, I see that y'all really don't want me here. You know, y'all just really hate me, or y'all just really don't want me here. So I'm gonna leave. Now, where he went, I don't know. Maybe he went back to the ship. Because like I was saying, in one of them clips, they show pictures of the pictures of the flag that he was using for his church. And on the flag, he got a ship, Inanna ship. Inanna ship is the symbol for his church's flag. And I was saying, that's interesting. Ptah is Inky. Ptah is Inky. Ptah was the fashioner. Ptah set up the laboratory in Memphis. Ptah was the builder. The one that he was a scientist that was a builder. Imhotep's dad, coming from that bloodline, right? And Inky is the fashioner, the builder. Inky was the one that was building all the equipment. Inky becomes Ptah. Murdoch, who is Inky's son, becomes Amun, Atun, Amun, Ra, Melchizedek in another culture, El Kedar or El Kiddish in another culture, Michael in the Bible for you Christians, right? Michael, the angel Michael, Melchizedek, the captain of the Lord's host, right? That's Murdoch. Inky was the one that gave the plans for the submarine to Noah to build the submarine to survive the pole shift that Enlil knew about but didn't tell nobody. Okay, what else you got? Buddy, you ready to get up out of here because everybody's asleep and we don't want to keep up the noise too long. How Inky looks so young in the pictures. Yeah, so like, okay, so you're talking about the Yahweh thing, right? Yahweh is an avatar. It's like Doc was an avatar, is an avatar for Murdoch. Inky, and I was the one that put that out. King Yahweh is an avatar for that Inky is using King Yahweh as an avatar in this day and time. Who is Simeon Toko? And more time, I always seen him, but I never understood who he truly is. Hey, VHR, if you're just not coming in, you want to watch the movie I just put out on the video side on breaking down the whole documentary on Simeon Toko. The best, we put out the best tape out on Simeon Toko there is online so far today. I don't know what's, hey, that's a good question. Where is he? He could have went back to the ship because, like I said, that flag that he got is a ship, Inanna ship on that flag that Simeon Toko was flying for his church. Toko. Okay. So on that note, man, we're about to get up out of here, man. We love you all. It says, where can I find this information? Well, you can look it up on, it's all over the place about, you can Google it. It's on YouTube about Simeon Toko, but mainly on his website, his church website. The church gives a lot of the accounts, the church, right? But that's for the most part. And it's a lot of accounts. It's one guy that wrote a book on him, and they threatened to kill that guy. The government threatened to kill that guy for putting out the information. But like I say, I got yeah, I can't tell you that, Wilson. But just know this, Wilson. Just look at the work we doing. Who else is doing it in this day and time? And keep in mind, Inanna's my mama. Inanna, my mama. They told y'all we was coming to do what we doing. I mean, we ain't got to tell you who is. Our work speak for itself. Who else is doing it? Hey, but go check out that documentary that we just put out on the video side of about Simeon Toko, and you'll get more on it. Man, that's a good question, Armin. The guys that rigged this case, they definitely criminals. The Garland firm. I think you're referring to the Garland firm. Garland definitely was paid by the state to rig Doc's case. And then the tribe, I think it gave him over $2 million or $5 million. I can't remember what it was. It was a crazy number that the tribe, he swindled the tribe out of millions of dollars. The Garland firm. So I hope they can be brought up on criminal charges and then we can get some of that money back. That's one. And then another thing, the judge, Ashley A. Royals, who eventually we found out he was a major criminal and been rigging a lot of brothers' cases in Georgia. Georgia's the type of state, man, as far as the court system is rigged. What about the Kabbalah? We got a tape about to come out on the Kabbalah either tomorrow or the next day, breaking down what they all about. Right? The reptilians, the Draconian reptilians. Okay. The documentary is on the video side. When you click on my page, click on videos, and it should be the last video I just put out about an hour or two ago. I just put the video out about an hour or two ago. It's called Simeon Toko, the Black Jesus. So you want to go check that out. On that note, man, we about to get up out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. We love you all. Wadu.